I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, July the 14th. You talk about a big bean dip, corn too, but any of you row crop farmers that were looking at this little rally here that we've seen the last couple of weeks and kind of a weather market, getting excited about maybe getting a decent price for your crops this fall, especially you guys that are fortunate enough to be in an area that is not suffering dry conditions. Of course, about everywhere is suffering the real hot conditions, but could kind of forget about that on Thursday when the rug was pulled completely out under your grain and bean market there. But it did help your feeder cattle quite a bit. Allowed your feeder cattle contracts to post nice gains again after limit gains on Wednesday. But you look at corn on Thursday down over 15 cents with new crop December corn at $3.83. And for the most part, your cattle feeders don't get concerned about corn prices when they're under $4. They're under $4, they feel fortunate to have cheap feed. They don't get real excited about trying to find alternatives to put in their ration and things like that. Well, it was sneaking above $4 and getting into the meat of the $4 range there earlier in the week, but man, after some tough losses there, getting back down there where your cattle feeders are comfortable. Not that they hate to see your farmers get along, but that's part of their inputs. But soybeans, my gosh, November soybeans down 46.5 cents on the new crop there. Now all your nearby bean contracts are back under $10, and they were well into the $10 range just a day or two ago. But we talk about a weather pattern. If somebody, if it rains in Chicago, they think that it's going to be a bumper crop. And we did see some long-range weather forecast come in that says that it looks like that these temperatures are going to kind of ease back and subside with this 100-degree stuff a little bit. It should spur a few showers here and there, but really nothing says that we're going to have any real relief in the places that are the driest out in that western corn belt and up in the northern plains, the Dakotas and places. But it's getting dry in a lot of Nebraska now too, and areas of western Iowa and Missouri and places like that. There's a lot of pockets that are getting real dry. But from now until we get to where the crop's made, it's just going to be a weather market. And we're also getting a lot of competition on grains from Brazil. But you look at the board on your cattle futures, live cattle futures, August contract down 45 cents. But your most popular October contract was unchanged, so nothing too big there. It's running a little bit of a basis, but not much at all, and just really sitting in a good spot for where the market's at right now as your feedlots try to stay current in their marketings. But feeder cattle, August contract up $1.27, and all of your nearby contracts on feeder cattle are over $1.50 through November there. So that's pretty healthy too. And where this sudden resurgence of your cattle market has come right in the dog days of summer, it's unseen. Nobody can really figure out what's going on. They're just glad that it kind of quit going down for a minute, because they assume it's going to go down some more as we go into the latter parts of the summer. But fats established themselves on Wednesday at $1.20, which was $2 to $3 higher on a live basis, but we hadn't seen a whole lot of dress trade as of yet. Well, on Thursday, you had quite a bit of dress trade at $1.90, which is not that much higher, but maybe steady firm and just a pretty good market there. Your actual dress steer weights for the week ending July the 1st came in at 859 pounds. That's 4 pounds heavier than the previous report. So we're getting into some bigger cattle, and we're expecting that. We're still 9 pounds under a year ago, so that's a positive. Your slaughter's been really impressive this week, post-holiday week there, 475,000 through Thursday, and that's 27,000 more than the same week a year ago. But you look at your feeder cattle markets on Thursday, your real-time index late on Thursday was setting at 148.79, up 8 cents, so a good strong market. But that's really strong considering that your RTI gained nearly $5 on Wednesday with those with that limit up board spurring those sales to really sell those cattle well, and coming out of the slow holiday week, and a lot of good cattle in there, and they sold real well, and that was a big jump, but able to hold that on Thursday. You look at some major markets there. Pratt, Kansas, it's hot, but they still had 1,800 head. Feeder steers there were called $4 to $5 higher. Feeder heifers firmed to as much as $8 higher. You look at some yearling markets out of there, and then Salina had a good sale. They're back to their Thursday sales now after that long wheat harvest break there. And Salina had 2,700 head there at Farmers and Ranchers Livestock. And Salina, more than Pratt, would be getting a lot of those Flint Hills cattle. Salina's sitting right up there at the top of the Flint Hills. Some guys that didn't get their cattle sold in the country and had to be off by the end of this week. A lot of them just had to go ahead and bring them into Salina, which that's not a bad thing, especially with the market up like it's been this week. But Pratt be getting some green grass yearlings too. But you look, as I pulled on Cattle Market Central there, all your 8-weight Kansas load lots. And you can see by looking at there at those selling from 147 to 150, 250. That's sure nothing to sneeze about, and probably in most cases more than they could have got in the country the last week or so, although with the extra expenses of having to get the freight and a little bit of commission there, they might have come out just about what was available out there in the country on a direct bid, but maybe a lot of them didn't receive that bid, not sure. But that's your feeder flash for Friday.